we can produce, sorry, thank you, and what we can produce for our business, for our country, and to improve the lives of everybody around us. So take a good look at what's around you, because you may find something there. It may be interesting, it may surprise you. So it's not really design that makes an impact on cultural heritage, it's the other way around. It's your heritage that shows through your design. It can even be the most forward-looking 22nd century design, but somehow or other your Filipino heritage will show through that. We haven't learned how to present our culture globally. We haven't learned how to present our culture to each other, much less globally. Do you know that UNESCO has awarded a chant of the Darang, it's called the Darangan chant, chanted in Lanao province. Also another chant, the Hudhud from Ifugao. It has been named as the intangible cultural heritage of the world. There are very few examples of this around the world. We have two. We have three actually. It's the EDSA movement, the original EDSA movement. That is also part of this intangible heritage of the world listing. So there's a lot more to this country than maybe we know, or maybe we've been exposed to. There's still much to discover in this country. This is a fantastic grillwork, fantastic staircase in an old building in Binondo, built in 1912, built 100 years ago. The building is still there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Architect Villalon, for a very enlightening presentation. Okay, there are three words that I retained in Architect Villalon's presentation. Basically, it's about respect for the culture and taking responsibility and sustainability. For our next speaker, just to link it to the next speaker, our next speaker will present about indigenous Filipino culture in the Philippine setting. So what Architect Villalon presented is our heritage and culture and how to translate it into meaningful designs or globally acceptable designs in product designs. For our next speaker, he will be dealing more on the architecture side of architectural aspect. Okay? Our next speaker studied BS Architecture in the University of Santo Tomas. He was awarded a graduate certificate for Architecture, Energy, and Environment for concentration on energy conservation, and finished Masters in Design Science, concentration on design computing at the University of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia in the year 2000. He is the founding member of the Philippine Green Building Council and member of the Australia and New Zealand Chamber of Commerce, Green Architecture Movement of the UAP, United Architects of the Philippines, and of UAP Makati chapter. He was also a professor at the UST College of Architecture from year 2000 to 2005 and the chairman of the Philippine Green Rating System, Verde, Building Ecologically Responsive Design for Excellence from 2008 to 2009. He also garnered first place for the architecture competition for green homes at the Metrobank Art and Design Excellence in 2010. Please welcome Architect Miguel Angelo Manyosa.
Give me 1 minute just to set up, no? Okay, here we go. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My talk today is fusing natural and contemporary indigenous Philippine architecture. No, now arguably, Filipino architecture is a very loose word that many people use. Some people say if you're a Filipino and you design anything, then it's Philippine architecture. Others say if you take it from the Bahay Kubo up to today and express it in a very modern way, then that is Philippine architecture. Others say that if you build a bahay na bato, then that would be Philippine architecture. But basically, arguably, Philippine architecture is interpreted in many ways. And what I would like to present is the way Manyosa and Company has actually approached our design philosophy. We always begin by saying it all started with the Bahay Kubo or the native thatched roof. No, now this is architecture really without architects. This house was developed based on climate, and when you look at the Bahay Kubo, which you can find 8-10 kilometers as you drive outside of Metro Manila, it actually is the epitome of using indigenous materials. It starts with the posts, king posts, using probably a hardwood floor. Your flooring system would also be done in hardwood, normally Nara, Kamagong. The walls around it would probably be made of bamboo. The roof framing done in bamboo, thatched roof, raised on stilts to be able to allow for natural air cooling. And the bamboo slat floorings would probably allow cool air to come in. So it was really based on climate, and this is pretty much where we at Manyosa and Company begin our design philosophy with the Bahay Kubo. Now, during the Spanish era, the Bahay Kubo evolved to the Bahay na Bato, or what many call the Spanish house. But I can guarantee you, you drive anywhere to Spain, you get yourself to Spain, you'll never find this house anywhere in Spain. No? But basically, it was a takeoff from the Bahay Kubo, where now the ground floor was used, again, local material, which was probably made of adobe stone or made of coral stone. And then you had the capiz windows, which architect Villalon had showed you earlier, which was expressed on the window system. Then the roof was changed now from thatched using clay. And this is now, again, materials which were readily found around its basic surrounding. And this is where the house was now elevated. And this is now the point, is where now does Philippine architecture begin and where does it end? Does it end with a Bahay na Bato, or can it actually be interpreted into a more contemporary form, bringing it closer to today's line? And so arguably, we have followed a calling in developing what we would take the fundamentals from the past and then bring it more to the future. And this is now where we say, well, let's come up with a new architecture that is still distinctly Filipino, but then still is socially and culturally very responsible. So in 1978, under the